My goal by 2026 is to help my clients and businesses that I partner with collect over $1 million of cash in just 1 month. I'm going to document every system I use, everything I do, and every little piece of my day. Then I can show you exactly, well, what I've done, and I can keep myself accountable. So I want to create this series where literally every day until the end of the year, I document exactly what I do and how I do it to be able to make my clients and businesses that I've partnered with more money. At one point, I was at tens of thousands of dollars. Within the past 30 days, I've only helped clients and business partners collect around $5,000. Now, that's not $1 million. There's too many gurus. They're not transparent. They aren't authentic, and they just market you a lie to get you signed up on a coaching program that, let's be honest, you might not need. And I want to be able to document every part of what I'm actually doing so that way you can transparently see what growing a business looks like while living on your own. I want there to be absolute clarity on exactly how everything plays out so that way you can see in real time how I'm actually going to scale my business. No secrets, no deceptive BS, just what I'm doing, the results it's getting, so you can stay up to date. This is also going to be for me so that way I can stay accountable and make sure that I get the work done that I need to get done. And so I can learn, because if you teach somebody else something, you're going to be able to understand it better because these concepts connect better in your head. So to collect this $5,000 in cash, which again, like I told you before, I've had the point where they've been collecting tens of thousands. From that time, I was in school. This was mid 2024 to late 2024, scaling like crazy. There was lows and highs for all those months. Then there was this one partnership that I was kind of relying on, which I then realized I should expand my horizon a little bit more. And then because of that, I used that as sort of an excuse to learn more about myself and mask focusing on sports while being in school as an excuse not to do the work. But in reality, that led me to a lack of productivity and an identity which was based off of prioritizing the wrong things if I wanted to scale my business. So although I told myself I wanted to scale my business and I set this goal at the start of this year, on the outside, it looks like I've virtually made no progress. Now, internally, yes, I've learned things and I've grown and I've reflected and I'm in a different situation. I've done a lot. But on the outside, over the last 6 to 7 months, there has been this cycle of ups and downs without consistency and growth of my partnerships and my clients cash collecting are every single month. So with that in mind, I'm now going to get into a few of the things that I did today, what could have been done better, as well as some of the things you might be able to use in your own business. So what I have to do differently now is start to prioritize growing my business and growing it in a way that is aggressive, and I show up, I assert myself, and I take life and pull it in the direction that I'm going to pull it in. Now, this isn't out of fear. This is not going to be out of pressure either, but this is going to be simply out of alignment. And what that means is, instead of prioritizing, like let's say earlier today, spent hours eating food because although I do have the goal of gaining weight and getting stronger. I was a power lifter for 3 years, got pretty big, got pretty strong. So getting back up to that and even farther, I need to set boundaries and make these things more efficient. One of the best ways to do that is through creating systems and clarity in who you are and what you're going to do. Because you can tell yourself you're a certain type of person, but if you don't actually do those actions, then it's just illusion. So instead, what you need to do is make it as hard as possible to do the behavior that you don't want to do, and as easy as possible to do the behavior you want to do. As today, I followed up with some clients, and I continued to build relationships that I already had, creating this content. I also followed up and did some things for one of the partnerships that I recently started. Also, on top of that, I took some meetings and did some other things. I still could have done more. There was many other tasks that I needed to do. Like on Instagram, I'm growing my brand a ton right now. I was getting 5 to 10 new followers a day for a few weeks, and that was pretty big, especially because I make strictly educational content. Now it's starting to dip a little bit. It's not just about the followers, but I'm growing my brand for the future to, of course, attract other service-based business owners to potentially get into some sort of partnership or then be my client or whatever, but also to be able to educate other people so that way they don't do the same things that I've mistakenly done in the past. What I've really realized is it really just comes down to priority and sacrifice. Now, this doesn't mean you have to sacrifice what you want and how you want to live, but you need to choose what you want to do, how you're gonna do it, and then constantly remind yourself of that fact, even if it feels uncomfortable, even if it's stressful, even if it's not the right moment, so that way you can actually win. So going forward in each one of these videos, I'm going to take you through step by step what I'm doing to make a change in my clients and businesses that I partner with, so that way they can collect more cash. I'll tell you exactly how I do it, what I do for them, and what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis to make all of my systems way more efficient. I'll start off by giving a synopsis of new results and new things that are coming up. Then I'll get into talking about the actual things that I've been implementing, the systems we've been using, and the small changes I had made. And then finally, the things I learned and the things I reflected on to be able to continuously grow and improve my operating system so that way I can make bigger impacts in my clients' lives.